Intuitive counselling is something that I've developed over many years of practical work. I've got about 5,500 face-to-face hours in on counselling. So over that time I've honed it in a sense and developed it and become. And intuitive counselling, what it really means is you connect at a deeper level with the client. You connect on a more solid level, if that makes sense. There's a feeling of harmony, there's a feeling of balance, there's a feeling of getting together with them at their level. Normal counselling will give you a process whereby some people believe that the counsellor is in control and they're the sort of the authoritative figure. In intuitive counselling, there is no higher. Everybody's the same. We're all on the same level playing field. And because of that, the client interacts better with the counselling because they have no kind of element of being told or being shown what they need to do or where they need to be. So it works a lot better from that point of view. The thing with counselling is you have to have what we class as a therapeutic bond. It means that you have a connection with the client. They trust you, in a sense. So when they're trusting you, they're explaining more to you, they're exploring more to you. They feel more developed because of that. Because of the trust that builds up with that therapeutic bond. They feel a lot more closer to you and obviously give you more intimate details more quickly. And that's because you connect with them at that level. Whereas some forms of counselling, people don't connect at all. That's usually where people have that kind of I'm the power, I'm the control kind of dynamic, and it takes them a while to get into that kind of relaxed phase. But the way I work and the kind of structure I use is it bonds really quickly, you know, and within a quarter of an hour they trust, they're telling me things that they will say, I've never told anybody else that. And that obviously helps the client develop the trust, but it also helps them to explore things in a much faster process, you know. There's a lot of depth of work with me as well. It seems to be a lot of people coming from abusive backgrounds, those kind of things where trust has been a major, major problem for them over the years. And at some point in their life, those things come back to connect with them again. And that's where intuitive therapy can work also better, because that level of trust that we develop helps them to, I suppose, relax and explore those kind of things. You know. I think the uniqueness is that in order to do this work, in order to work at that level, you have to be as vulnerable as the client. And that means that you have to join together in a way that says, I don't know the answer. I don't know where we're going here, but we're exploring it together, we're walking with each other. And I think from that point of view, it makes the process work not just quicker, but it also works more effectively. The clients get to a sense of understanding themselves faster and exploring what the possibilities of change are, because that's obviously what counselling is all about, trying to get people from one place to another in obviously a structured way and safe and secure way. But for other people, it's just sometimes confidence building, anxiety, you know, maybe working with depression, you know, life's getting too much, you know, drip drip effect, kind of Chinese water torch thing. And sometimes just an element of exploration of, you know, I don't want to go through the same kind of process again that I've just gone through. Because once we're aware of why we do what we do, then we can change it. We have an option. That's a conscious process. But a lot of the time human beings react in a subconscious way, because reactions are subconscious. So from that point of view, they get that kind of element of, I suppose, sometimes people just come for one session. I never see them again. They've done what they need to do. Sometimes they just want somebody to hear it. You know, they don't want anything to do. They just want to have somebody that will actively listen and care, I suppose, you know, in a sense. I'll have clients who'll come for maybe 1 or 2 sessions and go back out into their world, try some of the sort of like the things that they've explored and that they've looked at and the changes they want to adopt and go from it. And then come back even sometimes a year later and just have a top up, you know. And I've worked with a lot of businessmen who sort of like have these elements of career choices, changes, and that they want to adopt, and they don't necessarily know where they want to go with that. You know, the crossroads kind of thing, you know, which direction do I take kind of process. A lot of people come to in their lives. And they'll give that kind of a process of looking at it, working out where they want to be, what they want to do, and all those things. And then they'll go away and try it. And then maybe 6 months, a year later, I'll get them back in, they'll say, I just want to tweak this, just want to look at that, you know, and have a different sense of it. So yeah, it does work. You don't have to have the life people think you should have. You can have the life that you want. A lot of us run through scripts in our lives, things that we've been brought up to believe, told, all those kind of things. And we just follow the path. We become the same as the people who've told us the scripts. But it doesn't have to be that way. People can make change and have choices. But that's scary. So I suppose you don't have to have the life you're given. You can have the life you want.